welcome today's guest. We are very excited to be joined by Erin Davie, who is starring as Camilla Parker Bowles in the new Broadway show, Diana, A True Musical Story. Erin, thanks so much for being here. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Thank you for asking.
Good to see you. Now, it's been roughly 3 months since Broadway was shut down on March 12th, less than 3 weeks before the show was scheduled to officially open, right? Are you doing anything to stay connected to the character and the production, or do you just have to sort of step away and forget it until things get back up and running?
I've been working on this show for a few years, and so I kind of had her with me for a while. And at this point, I feel like she's a bit ingrained. But yeah, the cast has kept in touch, and we even have gone back into some Zoom rehearsals to work on the material again and like maybe make some changes.
Thank goodness for Zoom, right? That's been the savior. Yeah, I understand last month you actually all got together virtually for a dance battle royale. Tell us about that.
Kelly Devine, the choreographer, put together one of these, these videos. So it's a way to stay connected and, involve everybody. So we all had like 8 counts to move a ball of energy to the next section. And it actually came out really well.
So fun. All right, let's talk about the musical. Tell us a bit about the show, what audience goers can expect.
I think, people hear a Princess Diana musical, they have an idea of what it will be. And I think they're always surprised when they come into our show because it's so much fun and it's funny, but it's also touching and poignant. And it has all of the aspects of, frankly, Diana's life. I think that these amazing things happened to her, but she also, had a lot of gravity in the things that she did and the causes that she championed. And she made a lot of change in the world. So it's a remarkable story.
So what drew you to this role in the first place? What was the audition process like? Any fun stories about how you got the parts?
The best part is that I didn't have to audition. They just said, "Ooh, when you do this?" A lot of times the first thing you do with a new musical is that you do a reading, which is just actors sitting around a table and reading it. And so, a lot of times they'll just offer it to people who they think would fit the role. And a lot of times those people don't always continue on with the show as it goes along because maybe they're not the perfect fit. But luckily I have stayed on.
You're still here.
Yeah.
Did you see yourself as Camilla?
I do see myself as Camilla in that I always root for the underdog. I love the underdog. I love the person who nobody knows a lot about. And so that definitely drew me to her because she has had such a bad rap all these years. And now I think that people are coming to love her a little bit more and understand where she might have come from. Just having this, being in love with somebody who she couldn't be with. It's really the ultimate love story. And they're now together, which is just the best ending, I think, of that story.
Now, I would imagine it would be challenging to play a real person, especially a real person who's still alive. As you mentioned, though, Camilla hasn't been out there in the spotlight too much in terms of doing interviews. So she's still sort of elusive in terms of her personality, what she likes, etc. But what's the hardest thing about playing Camilla to you?
I think the preconceived ideas about her being some kind of villain in the story. I think people come in thinking that she, ruined the marriage and was the other woman. And she was the other woman to an extent. But from everything I've read and everything I've researched, she actually is somebody who people love being around. And she's the life of the party and she's funny. And she has a lot of layers. And, she ended up getting her man. And it's just, I love the ending to this story.
The Camilla role is so interesting to me because of the 3, she's definitely the least known by the public. And many see her as the villain who broke up this fairy tale couple, both of which you touched on earlier. But in reality, of course, she's a human being who is probably quite heartbroken while attending that fairy tale wedding. So now that you've had the chance to become her in a sense, how do you see her as a character and her arc within the musical?
She has a great arc. I think we all love these stories where, people are meant to be together. So yes, in the beginning of our show, she is, she's with Prince Charles. They have a thing. but she is married as well. So throughout the show, she's always by his side, and she's always there for him and helping, and also, you know, has a lot of influence over him and his decisions. So I think everybody learns a lot throughout this whole story. I feel like she comes out on top.
It's interesting. Charles and Camilla celebrated their 15th wedding anniversary this past April, and 15 years was also the official length of Charles and Diana's marriage. How do you think this musical will change the way the public sees this famous love triangle?
I don't think that people often think about it from Camilla's point of view or their relationship's point of view. So I think that it is very interesting to see, you know, the aspect of what they might have been going through behind closed doors, and Charles and Camilla might have been dealing with, and from Diana's point of view at that period of time. I think it's very interesting because it's not a black and white story. It's very nuanced, and it's very intricate, and it's very, you know, you can't just say this was right and this was wrong. I think that there were a lot of feelings involved, and it was a really interesting love triangle.
Well, I know I can't wait to see it. And I know all of New York can't wait for Broadway to open up again. But Erin, before you go, I understand you recently filmed a music video for one of the songs you sing to Charles in the show. We'll have it play us out. But can you set it up for us?
Yeah, so they asked me to record the song that I sing in the show. It's called I Miss You Most on Sundays, which is pretty fitting right now because I think we all miss a lot of things and people. So yes, I recorded the song, and in this show it comes at a time when Charles and Camilla realize that his marriage is really irreparable and that they can't be apart anymore. And this is the moment where they kind of make the decision to come back together.
Wow. Well, Erin, thank you so much for joining us today. Hopefully we can have you on the show again when we're back in the studio.
Thank you.
All right, the Royal Report will be right back. But first, here's I Miss You Most on Sundays.
I miss you most on Sundays, that idle day when little gets done, just lazy walks and silly talks, the kiss before the week's begun. I miss you most on Sundays, when time stands still and we are one, an easy chat about this and that, a cuddle as we watch the setting sun. Why can't we have more Sundays?